What's up, guys? Tim right here. Let's talk about the official Rolex shortage response. So this is crazy. Usually Rolex never does this. They're like super secret about everything they ever do. We only have like even estimates of how many pieces they produce. Everything is just estimate. Nobody knows anything. The only thing that I think we can be for certain when it comes to Rolex is that we don't know anything. So them coming out with an official response to the shortage is kind of incredible, and it gives us a little glimpse into what is going on in the brand. But before we go on, guys, let me know, what do you think about the shortage? Leave me comments in the whatever comment section below. Hit the upvote button and let's get into it. Okay, so their statement has 3 parts. Okay, the first part: the scarcity of our products is not a strategy on our part. So now you have to look at the wording very carefully, because the scarcity of the product is not a strategy. However, not fulfilling the demand could be. So like, they might have not purposely cut the production and created the shortage as a strategy, but maybe looking into the future on their part and not meeting the demand could be the strategy. So there's a lot of language games that they could be playing here with us. Okay, so and now the reason they give for not meeting the demand is that it's very hard for them to scale the production, which I mean, I guess there could be something to it, but it's not like they're making Patek Philippe's and there's hand finishing involved. Okay, I think we looked at a video of their production, like how they make bracelets, for example, and it's just kind of stamped out by a machine, obviously at a kind of a slow pace, but still they definitely could meet the demand if they wanted to, because the kind of work required to make their pieces is not really, it's not something that I think is extremely scarce. Okay, then they go into all Rolex watches are developed and produced in-house at our 4 sites in Switzerland. Now, from my understanding, during the COVID-19, they have been closed for like 4 to 6 months. So obviously that exacerbated the demand, but understandably, I think them not going out of their way to kind of building up the facilities and producing more pieces than they kind of have to meet the demand, it just kind of makes sense. Like, why, understandably, this nature restricts our production capacity. As I said, yes, they're good quality, okay? Yes. So wristwatch check, I got my Explorer 2 polar dial right here. It's a great quality piece. I understand why it would be difficult to make something like this, but it's not any more difficult than making a Seamaster, right? It's not like we're on the level of Patek, Lange, Vacheron, where it's literally hand carving for a couple of months, so okay, it's just okay, fine. Then we go into the third part, where they say, finally, it should be noted that Rolex watches are available exclusively from our official retailers, who independently manage the allocation of watches to customers. Okay, sorry about that. My wife just called. They want to go get some food, and I'm here busy making vids for you guys. Just trying to pump something out while I'm on the vacation. All right, so there they talk about the waiting lists, okay? And that is the craziest part, because I think a lot of people hate the waiting lists. And there's a lot of ideas floating around about how to deal with these waiting lists. Some people say there should be an official waiting list, open, so that you can put your name down at Rolex and have your spot reserved, and you're gonna know that, oh, your Daytona coming in 10 years or something, and it's official, and you know exactly how many people there are in front of you. And I think that it's gonna make things worse, actually, because it's gonna make things worse because the people who are in the know, like me, you, right? The people in the wristwatch community right now, they'll just go and they'll put everyone that they know and their pets on the waiting list. Like, I would get my mom, my brother, my dad, I would get my wife, I would get her friends, I would put all of them on the list for freaking Daytonas or something. Like, how the hell are you supposed to make something like this official? It just makes no sense. And then what happens? Once this list is created, it will be literally filled up for the next 10 years. 10 years. There's going to be no chance that any new person who discovers the brand a year later will be able to get their watch, because these lists, it will stretch into infinity. It will just get crazy. So having these lists being quote unquote kind of fake-ish, where you have to play the AD game, it makes possible for some individuals to be able to get, maybe not the Panda, but some steel sports, okay? They're possible to get. Like, I actually recommended a few strategies, or like just a few ways to make yourself kind of presentable, to show how to get a watch and to show that you deserve a watch. And I gave this advice. I told people, go do this, do this, do this. Show your credibility, show the love for the brand, and the AD will give you one. And a number of people have contacted me that they got Submariner. Well, I think Submariner was the highest watch that you can kind of get without any kind of purchase history. You just look at Rolex. Rolex got himself at Datejust Wimbledon, went to swap the bracelet. They messed it up. They messed up the case. They scratched it up, but they compensated him by selling him a bad girl. Okay, there are ways. If there was an official waiting list, guess what? He wouldn't be able to get that, because how can you jump? Because he probably, with that mess up that they did, he jumped the list. They gave it to him like 3 days later. That bad girl was probably supposed to go to some guy who was on the waiting list already for quite some months. And this kind of stuff would not be possible with official lists. So I don't know. A lot of people want the official list without realizing what it entails. With the current situation, at least there is possibility of just kind of winning a lottery. When it's official, it's locked in. All the dealers will get all their family members, everyone they know. Yeah, it will be impossible. So, but anyways, guys, I think I've spoken enough. Let me know what you think about this situation. Am I right? Am I wrong? What do you think? How do you think this can be solved? How can the shortage be solved? Or is the shortage good? I think, like, the only reason people want Rolex is because they can't have it. Once they have it, they're like, okay. It's no longer going to be wanted. So it's complicated. But I want to hear your opinion in the comments section below. And make sure to check out David SW. He is authorized reseller. If you can't wait on the waiting list, go to David SW, mention Tim Wright, and he'll hook you up. I have to go. You can't tell me the deck is stacked. You can't whisper behind my back. You can't show me how the odds are up against me all day long. But I've been through the fire and come out alive, and there's no more fear in my eyes. Oh, now I'm rising, and you can't bring me down.
Can't stop me now.